Hi everyone, this is David from South Side Detail, back for another how-to detailing video. Today we're going to be going over how to clean or detail an engine bay. This is actually the engine bay for the South Side Detail van, so it's been through the whole winter, spring, and now fall season, so it's due for an engine cleaning. And we'll give you a close-up of the condition before we get into how to clean it. Okay, so take a look. It's pretty dirty from the seasons. Again, this is fall. This engine was or this van was used all winter, all spring, all summer, and now again the fall season. So we'll be going over all the dirt up here on the windshield cowl. Of course, the engine. They actually got spider webs inside. Pretty crazy. When you're detailing an engine, you just want to make sure you cover up the sensitive parts like electronics, or if you have like an open air filter. This has a closed air filter, but if you have like a special aftermarket one, that's something we would cover up with a plastic bag or just something so water gets directly into it. But in this case of this engine, this Ford Transit, it's got a plastic bag covering it, the alternator, so we don't actually get water in there. But usually on these modern day engines, for the past 10, 15, maybe 20 years actually, most of the components are closed off with plastics or seals for any water getting inside, for example, and doing any engine damage. So relatively it is safe. And then when we're doing an engine detail, you also want to get on top behind the hood. See up close, it's pretty dirty. This engine doesn't have a heat shield, but sometimes you'll see like a padding back here. That's like a heat shield for the actual paint from the engine. If we were cleaning that, we would use one of the brushes with the degreaser that we'll be using today as well. But this one does not have it. Alright, so here are the supplies on my detailing card of some of the things you're going to need for an engine detail. Doesn't need to be the exact things you see here or brushes, don't worry about that, but if you get the general idea of what you might need to do if you want to do this at home, this is a good way to start. I'll put everything I use in the link in the description box on the YouTube link, so you guys have an idea of what you could use if you want to try this at in your house by yourself. So I got an IK pump sprayer, foam sprayer, any type of foam sprayer with Meguiar's degreaser, diluted 10:1. So that'll get a lot of that grime on the engine cleaned off. When we're cleaning, we'll be using multiple brushes. This long handle brush I like to use for under the hood. It's like this. This makes it pretty quick. You'll see me use that. It's all over. Then some of these brushes as well, actually on the engine itself, all the plastic components. And any type of smaller brush to get inside the cracks or deeper beneath the engine. Same goes for this one, gets in between the cracks as well. Again, I'll be showing the video how to do that. And then some towels to clean up any excess that might come around the sides of the car when we're actually washing it. It's another good point. If you're going to be doing any type of detail, you want to start with the engine if you're going to do an engine detail with the actual car. So say if you wash your car on the outside and then you do the engine, well, now you just put all the dirt or leaves or whatever dirt back onto the outside, so no one wants to do the same thing over again. So in this case, we start with the engine first, then we do the exterior. So it makes things a lot more efficient that way. Then I have my air gun. This is a Tornador air gun. This is does a good job for blowing out any dust or debris. Like an initial way to knock out everything before we actually get into washing it. This is also good for interiors or when you wash your car to blow out water out of like your mirrors or any cracks inside the car itself. So this is nice. It's hooked up with my air compressor. Then of course I got my pressure washer gun set up. I got it set up with a 40-degree tip because when you're doing an engine, you don't want to get so close or have a lot of high pressure. You can do some damage that way. There's no point. You don't need to do that with the engines. Just enough water to get the area rinsed, and then we're going to do most of the work with the brushes and the degreaser itself. And with this one, again, when you're using a pressure washer, you don't want to be right inside the engine up close because you could potentially do some damage. You don't want to do that. So you'll see I'm going to be a little farther back when I'm rinsing it. When we finish off with the actual engine detail, we'll be using Meguiar's hyper dressing. I got this diluted 5:1. So when everything's cleaned off and wet, you can actually spray this when the engine's still wet, and it'll give it that nice OEM shine. Okay, and in case anyone is wondering what pressure washer I'll be using, this is what I use for my details at home, is the Adams Pressure Washer 2.0. Does a really good job. I do recommend it if you're looking for a simple, easy electric pressure washer to use for your car. And this is the mobile detailing van for South Side Detail that we'll be doing the actual engine detailing on right now. So give us a follow on the socials you see there, or check out our website. Alright, so we're going to begin rinsing the engine itself. Again, this is a 40-degree tip with your pressure washer. Don't want to be like this. So I'm going to start top to bottom. So you can let all that dirt and debris get to the bottom, then we'll rinse off the engine itself. Already it's starting to look cleaner. You don't want to miss areas like this where I just skipped over, so I want to make sure you get that. Then we'll get inside the windshield cowl itself. And then the engine. And again, this is the air gun itself, so you can actually do it in the beginning before I rinsed. Either way, it's not too necessary. This one wasn't too dusty, but if it did have a lot of leaves or a lot of dirt, you want to blow off first. So I'll just show you still with the air gun what that would look like. And go top to bottom. Get the windshield cowl. So if you had like a lot of leaves collecting here, that'll all blow away. And then same thing with the engine. So now that we're done with the actual air part itself, we're going to go now and start applying the degreaser, foam up the engine, and start scrubbing with our brushes. So this is our IK sprayer filled with Meguiar's degreaser, diluted 5:1. So again, we'll be using this for the engine. You can use an all-purpose cleaner or whatever cleaner that you would like. So we'll start top to bottom and work ourselves to the bottom self of the engine. So we're going to get all in there on the top here. Apply as much as you would like, because we're going to be scrubbing with this and agitating the dirt itself with our brushes. There we go. Let's foam up the engine. And get the whole engine itself, because we're going to be agitating the dirt, all the plastics in the engine itself. Alright, you can see that. Again, it's working top to bottom. Brush again and start scrubbing the top of the hood. You already see it agitating and the suds going. You can see where it's dirty and where it's not. In here, I'll get a different brush where I can't reach with this long handle brush itself. You want to get as much as you can, so it makes it easier when we rinse. We have to come back and do the same work again. Alright, let's get a different brush. I like to use this style. This is for wheels, engines. getting it right up in here where we can't reach. Along here itself. You also use one of these brushes as well. Get all around the bolts, the hood latch. Grab our long handle, get inside the windshield cowl again. It's going to look a lot better once we're done. Alright, so now we're going to start scrubbing inside the engine. So you see it's still foamed up. So we'll grab a brush like this, just go all over wherever you can see dirt might accumulate. A lot of times on these plastic covers like this. And on these oil caps. Get back here, we're going to be using some different brushes too to get inside deeper where this brush can't reach. Just get the top done, and we'll use some other brushes to get inside these cracks and crevices itself. Alright, we got this style brush next. So I put a little foam, the degreaser on there. We can start cleaning again. Try to get in every surface that we can. And don't worry about this water pulling now, because we'll use our compressed air to blow any water that might be collecting or pulling up where you see now. So I add some more degreaser to foam it up again, because I'm going to use this brush next and get in deeper areas that I didn't reach before. Go in between these hoses down here, just get it nice and clean. Get this engine looking like new again. Alright, let's get this brush again, follow up, make sure everything is clean and rinsed and agitated. pressure washer gun again, and let's start rinsing the engine. Again, top to bottom. As you start rinsing, you'll see all the dirt you agitated. It's like dark water, it's brown, dark water. You'll start to see it rinse away with the pressure washer. So it shows that you did a good job getting in the areas that did have a lot of dirt. Check it out, you can see it in there. So it looks pretty good itself. One thing I didn't mention in the beginning was make sure the engine's cool before you start doing any type of detail or running water on it. So if it's a hot engine, you don't want to do that, you can damage it. This engine's been sitting for a couple days, so it's nice and cool to touch. All right, so now it's all rinsed up. You'll see some water collecting. It does look a lot cleaner. So you saw some leaves blow out of the sides too. That's good. So now I'm going to get my compressed air and blow out any pooling water that we see. There go the leaves. More leaves. You can tell it's fall, right? Right. So we got the top done. Now we get inside the engine. Alright, now that we blow away a lot of the water with our compressed air, any remaining residual areas where you see where the air didn't get out the water, we're just going to use some microfiber towels and just wipe it away and dry it up a little. Get all on the outside, up top here. A lot of water likes to pool in here. Flip our towel over, get another towel if you want. Get on top, the hood. And then say if we were to detail this car, do a full interior, full exterior, if this was your car, we do this first. And if there's any remaining water, don't worry, because once we're done, we'll actually open the hood again and just dry off any residual water that may have not evaporated. Dry up any areas that might have some water or dirt that may have, see there you go, so dirt that may have never gotten picked up from the brush or whatever, but now we're still wiping it away and removing it, so making sure it's actually clean. It's looking a lot better underneath the hood here. All right. Just do a quick wipe down because a lot of this will evaporate. And then dressing that we use, a hyper dressing from Meguiar's. This here, which is cool. Again, if the engine's wet or if you have any type of wet plastics or tires, just spray it right on and it'll actually dry and actually make an even nice shine. Okay, so take a look. This is after you already cleaned it and rinsed it and before we apply our dressing to give it that nice OEM shine and to protect the plastics. Under the hood looking nice. Windshield cowl. Again, any remaining water will just evaporate. Let's take a look at the engine. A lot cleaner. And then that Meguiar's hyper dressing is going to give it that extra pop. All the caps are a lot nicer and cleaner. Oil cap looks better, like new. It always gets really dirty. Your brake reservoir, same thing. Okay. Then this is Meguiar's hyper dressing, diluted 5:1. So it's going to give like a medium satin gloss, not too high. Again, if you want that look, just use more product, less water. So don't have to worry about how much you get on here. You actually can't use too much. Again, the beauty of this is it'll self-level once it's done drying. So you can go ahead and spray it all over the plastic areas. Any excess you can wipe off now or when it's done drying. So I'll give you a close-up of how this works. Just go ahead and spray some. You can spray it like that itself. Back here on the engine. Down here, again, don't worry about getting too much. This is a water-based dressing. So it's self-leveling. It's not going to attract dust or dirt when you're driving. No one wants that. Get all the black parts here. All the hoses down over there. It also has a really nice scent to it. So whoever hasn't used it, definitely recommend it. Okay. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like applying. Again, it looks kind of messy right now. But this will dry really even, which is really cool. Going to grab some more microfiber towels anywhere that might have got overspray, like the glass. Just clean up. Again, I'll say this was a full detail. We haven't even cleaned the glass yet, so we don't care if we get it dirty because that's going to be cleaned once we wash the car. Let's get some over here. Then areas where, like, say, like these clear plastics, you can just wipe with your towel now or let it dry. Just showing you now if you wanted to do that with a microfiber towel. So it's about 30 minutes later. Most of the dressing and water has evaporated. Gives you an idea of the final product of how an engine detail looks. See in the air filter, there's some residual dressing or water that'll evaporate and self-level. So it'll look nice and even when it does dry out. But this gives you an idea of what the final product looks like. It looks a lot better than the beginning. Okay, so let me know what you guys thought of the video, if it was helpful or not. If you have any comments, just leave a comment below. I'll be sure to respond. If you did like it, please like the video and subscribe. I'll leave all the products I use in the description box below. I'll see you next time on the next how-to video with South Side Detail. Appreciate you watching.